North Korean hackers just stole $285 million from Drift in a single coordinated operation, and TRM Labs is calling April the worst month for DeFi exploits on record. And that's only one piece of what's hitting the tape this morning. Bitcoin pushed back to 78,300 and reclaimed a $1.42 trillion market cap on real spot ETF demand. Tether just dropped a Q1 number that frankly nobody was ready for. Over $1 billion in profit and reserves at $8.23 billion. An ETH whale is sitting on a 3.1 million unrealized win on Hyperliquid right now. And the XRP ledger quietly stepped into a Korean won stablecoin pilot that almost nobody is connecting to the bigger payments thesis. That last one, the XRPL story, the on-chain validator footprint behind it, is the part the headlines are missing entirely. All right, fast pace today on Crypto in 60. Let's get into the hack first. Okay, so the headline number is $285 million, but the TRM Labs report goes further than that. The combined Drift and Kelp DAO operation pulled $577 million total. And that single sweep accounts for 76% of every dollar lost to crypto hacks this year. Think about that for a second. One actor, 1/4 of a year, 3/4 of all the damage. The TRM Labs write-up details the playbook, social engineering on the front end, and a nonce exploit on the contract side, that's a really clever combo because it bypasses the parts most teams audit. The fallout was instant. Drift got delisted from Upbit and from Bithum, which basically cuts off Korean liquidity overnight. And the bigger pattern in the report, North Korea's share of total stolen funds is now climbing back toward levels we haven't seen since the Ronin era. Look, if you want 5 stories like this, broken down every morning before you even open your trading screen, hit subscribe. That is literally the entire point of this channel. Signal, not noise. Now Bitcoin's actually doing the opposite of what you'd expect after a hack like that. Bitcoin's up 1.6% to 78,336, and the market cap just clipped 1.42 trillion. The driver, per the CoinTurkin report, is spot ETF demand showing up again on the bid. And this is where it gets interesting, because 2 stories are fighting on the same chart. On one side, the bulls have ETF flows turning positive after weeks of outflows. BTC reclaiming a level where shorts get squeezed, and a market cap that just punched back through a key psychological line. On the other side, on-chain analyst Axel Adler Jr. is on record this week saying the bottom signal is still absent, and a deeper decline is on the table. Both sides have real data. ETF flows are real money. So is the on-chain accumulation gap Adler is pointing at. So which one wins? Here's the framework. Watch the 80,000 reclaim and the daily close above 79. If both happen this week with ETF inflows holding, the bulls run it. If BTC gets rejected at 79 and ETF flows flip negative again, Adler's call ages very well. The Friday close is the tell. Now Tether just made the bull case a lot louder. Tether's Q1 attestation just dropped, and the numbers are they're hard to argue with. $1.04 billion in net profit for the quarter, and excess reserves climbed to a record $8.23 billion. CEO Paolo Ardoino has been pretty quiet about the breakdown, but the report shows the backing is anchored in U.S. Treasuries, which means Tether is basically running a money market fund that also happens to be the rails for half of crypto trading volume. And here's the part that should jump out at you. $8.23 billion in excess reserves means USDT is over-collateralized by a margin most banks would dream about. So here's the comment question for you. With Tether printing $1 billion a quarter on treasury yields, do you think USDT actually overtakes USDC permanently? Or does Circle close the gap once the regulatory picture clears up? Comment your call below. I want to hear where you stand on this one. Now, speaking of leverage, There's a whale on Hyperliquid right now sitting on a position that should make you pay attention. On-chain data flagged by Bitcoin World shows a single ETH whale is sitting on $3.11 million of unrealized profit on Hyperliquid right now from a long position that was opened while ETH was still consolidating below 2,300. ETH is currently trading at 2,303, up 0.9% on the day. And look, what makes this trade actually matter? It's not just the profit number, it's the timing. This whale went long while sentiment was washed out and funding was barely positive. They're now 3 million in the green, and the position is, it's still open. They have not closed. That tells you something specific. Whales who size in this aggressively and then hold through a green print are usually playing for a level much higher than where we are now. The trade has to clear before we know the target, but the fact that they're letting it ride past 3 million says they're hunting something bigger now. While everyone's watching the leverage casino, there's a story out of Korea that's actually changing how stablecoins move on real rails. XRPL validator VET just confirmed that the XRP ledger is participating in a new proof of concept for a Korean won-pegged stablecoin. XRP is up 0.6% at $1.39, and basically nobody is connecting the dots on what this actually means. Korea is one of the largest crypto trading markets in the world. A won-pegged stablecoin running natively on the XRPL doesn't just give Ripple a marketing line, it gives the ledger a direct settlement role inside one of the most active retail and institutional corridors on the planet. And the validator network it's already proven to handle this volume. The pilot is small now, but the precedent matters. If a regulated Korean issuer chooses XRPL over Ethereum or Solana for production, every other Asian central bank watching this gets a template. Here is the challenge. The narrative around XRP for the last year has been ETF speculation and price targets. The actual moat being built is settlement infrastructure that Visa and SWIFT can't undercut on cost. The people who recognize that shift before the price catches up are the ones who own this trade. Everyone else just chases the candle. Quick recap. North Korean hackers bagged $285 million from Drift. Bitcoin reclaimed $1.42 trillion on ETF demand. Tether printed $1 billion in Q1. And ETH whale is up 3.1 million on Hyperliquid. And the XRPL is now wired into a Korean won stablecoin pilot. Today's mix tells you exactly where capital is rotating. Security failures pushing weak hands out while institutional rails get stronger underneath. This is not financial advice. Always do your own research and never put in more than you can afford to lose. If this saved you an hour of scrolling today, subscribe. That is what I am here for. 5 stories every morning, no fluff.